Hi there. My name is Rose Jansen, and I am a certified massage therapist for almost 24 years here in central Minnesota. And I'm about to become a certified fascial maneuvers coach. So I discovered fascial maneuvers about 3 years ago. I'm scrolling through Instagram mindlessly, and I come across this guy, and he's got a little video, and I start to watch, and he's has you stick your fingers in your thumbs in your ears, grab the top of your ears, roll them forward, open and close your mouth 3 times, looking forward. 1, 2, 3. And then you look up, doing the same thing, down and up to the right, up to the left. And I thought, wow, this is kind of goofy, but I did it. I tried it. And at that point, after 20 some years of doing massage, I never had the release in my head and through my face that I did is when I did this maneuver. So hit follow, and I've been following ever since. And it caught me off guard in the beginning because one of the first things he said was that bones don't give us structure, muscles don't create movement. It's the fascia that does that. And in massage school, that's the first thing as we were taught. Bones give us structure, muscle creates movement. So that took about 3 months for me to really think about and go, wow. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I'm doing everything wrong. Um, but in reality, I had actually been working very similarly, just not realizing that I thought I was working more with the muscle, whereas I think in reality, I really was doing more with the fascia because of the massage technique that I've used over the years. So that was really cool. So when it comes to fascial maneuvers, one of the first things that you're going to want to know, your first question is, well, what is fascia? So when we were in massage school, we were kind of taught that it's that fine film on a chicken breast, and it keeps all the muscles and organs separate. So, and in reality, that was really partially true. But it's so much more. So fascia is a liquid gel-like web that's throughout our body. So um, it separates our muscles, it separates and surrounds our muscles, our organs, our vessels, our tendons, ligaments, and all of our organs. So when fascia is healthy, the body is healthy. When fascia starts to become unhealthy, I now see how fascia really does have an impact on all of that. So it, the one thing that I learned that was kind of a shock to me is the fascia actually stores trauma and emotion. And it's this stored trauma and emotion that does lead to conditions, um, disease or dis-ease in the body. So in massage school, we used to talk about issues in our tissues, and it's the fascia tissue that holds those issues. So it also serves as a communication network, and it can actually transmit signals much more quickly than what our brain and our nerve cells can do. So the next obvious question would be, well, what are fascial maneuvers? So fascial maneuvers have been designed by the Human Garage, and they Gary Lineham is the founder, and there's several other co-founders that work with him. And it all began in a clinic in LA. And Gary had worked for more than 10 years in this clinic, working with athletes and performance and all different modalities within this clinic. And they did multiple testings. Well, here comes 2020, and the clinic is shut down because of COVID. So they had to come up with a way because they couldn't give or receive body work. So they themselves were looking at, well, how can I have body work done when I can't go into a clinic to get it done? So they took what they had learned in the clinic on the table and started devising ways that you can release the tension in the body on your own by releasing the tension. So fascial maneuvers is based on 5 primary principles. So you've got rotation and counter rotation, rotation and counter rotation, and you use breath work. And everything that we do in fascial maneuvers, we move slowly because fascia wants to move slow. If you move too quickly, you engage the muscle and then take the fascia out of the equation. So, and then we also use pin and lock. So we'll pin an area, lock it, and then use that rotation, counter rotation against it. And we also use, the intent changes in that we're focused more on the fascia as opposed to, I'm going to work on this muscle or I'm going to adjust this joint and give you relief in that respect. So the nice part is fascial maneuvers are easy to learn and utilize for your own self-care. And you can actually work with a partner, and some of the releases can occur more quickly and more in depth when you're working with a partner. But you don't need a partner in order to do this. I haven't really worked with one in the 3 years that I've been doing this, but the few times I've had, it's like, oh, this is really cool. So when you're doing the fascial maneuvers, you might ask, well, what can I expect? So hopefully the first and foremost thing that you're going to expect is that you're going to feel a shift in pressure. When it comes to fascial maneuvers, we look at pain in the body as being pressure, and we just need to release that area of pressure, and pressure will change and shift in the body. So as you release one area, you might actually feel it in another, which is a possibility. Um, you might have the feeling of getting high on your own supply, as they like to say in the human garage world. Because of that breath work, you do increase the energy in the body, and you do sometimes have that feeling of getting high. Sometimes you might, it might actually just take you down and it might wipe you out. It really depends upon the state of your body and maybe even that particular day. Um, you may end up feeling emotional. As I said, emotions are stored in the fascia. So sometimes when you release the fascia, you release emotions. And just remember that everything is safe when we're working in fascial maneuvers class. And so if that happens, don't worry, just let it go. Don't try to swallow it back down. The first time that I did a full class with fascial maneuvers, it was really cool because I looked out my window and I didn't have my glasses on. And it was like I could see every line on the house across the street on their siding. And it was just like crystal clear. So I was like, wow, my vision felt had like it had improved immensely. Um, and actually, your perception changes sometimes. The depth perception can change, which is really cool to see. Colors might become more vivid. Um, and so the first time I did it, it wasn't actually really cool until I got up the next day and I felt like I'd been hit by a Mack truck because I had moved my body in a way that I hadn't moved it in probably a long, long time. But the really cool thing about that was that did not last very long. Once I got up, I did some more maneuvers, started to move around, hydrated. It's like that actually got a whole lot better. And I've never had that feeling of feeling like I've got hit by a Mack truck again. So that was really cool. So just remember to honor your body. Be aware of what's happening. So many times we go through movement and we just don't even think about what we're doing. You know, you go to the gym, you do lifts and you do that. So you don't even think about it. So with the fascial maneuvers, we really want to be slow and deliberate and feel what's happening. See if we can feel that release in the body. So when we're doing fascial maneuvers, I mentioned breath. So there's 3 different breaths that we use when we're doing them. And so let's go through them before we start, because otherwise you're going to be like, oh, what are we doing? So we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. And when we breathe in through our nose, you want to feel your chest expand. So that breath will expand in the chest, the upper back, the neck and shoulders, and even up into the head if you get a deep enough breath and your fascia is relaxed enough. So again, and each of these we're going to do in stages, in threes, in series of threes. So we're going to go in through the mouth, or in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And even just that, I start to feel myself become a little more calm. The next set of breaths that we do is we go in through the mouth and out through the mouth. So when we breathe in through the mouth, you want to feel your belly expand. And what that's going to do is it goes into your abdomen and it kind of gives your organs a massage. So most of our organs move by movement. They function by our movement around them. So the heart and the stomach and the bladder are the only ones that really have muscle contraction that do everything. But the rest of the organs depend upon us moving around and for them to be able to function at their peak. So when we take that deep breath into the abdomen, not only do we feel it here, but we start to feel it into the pelvic floor, even into the front of the legs a little bit, and into the glutes. And then the next set of breaths that we're going to do, and again, we'll do the in through the mouth, out through the mouth 3 times. And the next one is a stage breath. So we're going to breathe in through the mouth once, hold, 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 and exhale. And again, in through the mouth, one, more, hold, and exhale. So that creates maximum expansion and release in the body. And it's really the stage breaths that bring all the extra oxygen in and bring it in much quicker. And that's where we get our high on our own supply, which is kind of a cool feeling. So 2 other things I want to cover before we get into the maneuvers is I want to talk about spinal pelvic lock. So we are going to pull in our belly button to spine. So if you hear me say belly button to spine, you're going to pull your belly in, and you're going to kind of tuck your butt in, and then you're going to pull your pelvic floor up like you're holding your pee. So what this does is it straightens your spine. So pull it in, and it makes it easier for you to rotate, counter rotate around the spine. Because if you let that go, your range of motion is less. So, and then the next thing, I just want you to remember that all of this really is about doing good, better, best. So you may not be able to reach as far the first time. There's still a few maneuvers that I struggle with, but at least try. And if you can't get bent over all that way, go as far as you can. You don't have to do a squat all the way to the ground. Just do what you can. So before we get started, we're going to sync up. So we're going to take our right foot across, right hand under left armpit, left hand on top. We're going to turn our head to the right, body to the left, and we're going to breathe 6 times. 3 in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. And slowly unwind. All right. So are you ready to begin and see what this fascial maneuver stuff is all about? We are going to start with palate swipe. There's 3 maneuvers that are in the basic 15-minute reset. So we're going to start with palate swipe. So again, we're going to take that right foot over in front of the left, right hand under left armpit, left hand on top. You're going to sneak your right hand out. And what we're going to do is you're going to stick your thumb in the top of your mouth, and you're going to swipe across the top of the palate. So across the top of the palate. And we're going to do this 6 times. And this can release some tension in the head, can help to release C1 and C2. So if you are ready, let's begin. Stick your thumb in your mouth, swipe across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, and slowly unwind. And after each of the maneuvers, we're going to walk around a little bit. The walking allows us to integrate the change. You may not feel much on the first time of doing the palette swipe. So far, I haven't felt a ton, but I have felt that my palette doesn't come down as far. So if when I put my tongue up there, it's like, oh, there used to be a much more pronounced dip, but that's not there anymore. So I think that's a good thing. So then we are going to go into totally twisted. So we're going to take the right foot over left, take right hand under left armpit, left hand on top. And when we're in totally twisted like this, if you're having trouble keeping your balance, which I kind of threw myself off on purpose a little bit, what you can do, I gotta go back a little bit so you can see my feet. So you can spread your legs a little further, which might do a wider base for you. You can take, maybe not go as far. Some people to start, you may not be able to go as far. Or you can take the back foot and step back a little bit. Or if you're really struggling with balance or you feel the tension on the knees, the other thing you can do is you can have a seat, cross over, and that works as well. So just wanted to get that a little bit of housekeeping done. So cross right foot over, right hand under left armpit, left hand on top, head to the right, body to the left. We're going to stick our tongue in our right cheek, and we are going to do 6 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the nose. So when we stick the tongue in the right cheek, we're looking for a tight spot. So let's go ahead and find a tight spot. And let's begin the breath in through the nose, out through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop your tongue and let's do stage breaths. So we're going to do 3 breaths in steps. So in through the mouth, 1, more, hold, turn to the left, and exhale. Spinal pelvic lock in through the mouth, 1, more, hold, exhale. In through the mouth, 1, 2, 3, hold, turn more to the left if you can, head more to the right, exhale. Drop your shoulders, in through the nose, out through the mouth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep your legs where they are. Slowly come back to center. Head to the left, body to the right. And stick your tongue in your left cheek this time. And 6 breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop your tongue. Stage breaths. In through the mouth, 1, more, hold, exhale. Spinal pelvic lock in through the mouth, one, more, hold, turn more to the right, head to the left, exhale. One more time, in through the mouth, one, more, hold, exhale. In through the nose, out through the mouth, one, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Gonna have you take a deep breath in. Slowly hinge at the hips till you go as far as you comfortably can. Exhale. In through the mouth, one, two, three. Slowly come up. Slowly unwind. And let's go for a walk. And again, we're going to integrate that change that we just made in the body. Feel if you notice a difference between your right side and your left right now. And I'm walking in figure eights. We have a natural polarity, just like we have north, south, east, and west. Our bodies kind of have that too. And so walking in a figure eight will kind of reset that polarity. So, all right. So then we've got to do the other side. So we're going to cross left foot over right, left hand under right armpit, right hand on top of left shoulder, head to the left, body to the right. And we are going to stick our tongue in our left cheek and find a tight spot. And we're going to do 6 breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. So find that spot and inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop the tongue. Stage breaths. In through the mouth, out through, in through the mouth. 1, more, hold, exhale. Spinal pelvic lock in through the mouth. 1, more, hold, turn more to the right, head to the left, exhale. Drop your shoulders. In through the mouth. 1, more, hold, exhale. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feet stay where they are. Slowly rotate, come back to center. Head to the right, body to the left. This one might get a little unstable. We're going to find a tight spot in our right cheek. Stick our tongue in there. In through the nose, out through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop your tongue. Stage breaths in through the mouth. 1, more, hold, more to the left, head to the right. Exhale. In through the mouth. 1, more, hold, exhale. In through the mouth, 1, more, hold, more to the left, exhale. In through the nose, out through the mouth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Deep breath in. Slowly hinge at the hips. And exhale. In through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. Slowly unwind. Come back up. And let's walk. You can also swing your arms. Alrighty. How is everyone doing? So from here, we're going to do totally twisted. So we're going to lock our fingers, put them up on the back of our neck, and pull up on our skin. First, we're going to look up to the sky, and we're going to do our breaths there. Then we're going to come down, chin, tuck our chin, and we're going to do a deep breath in, look to the right, come down, and deep breath in, look to the left, come down. We'll do that 3 times. We're going to go into a skier squat, and we're going to do that same thing. But this time we're going to rotate with the whole body. The first one, we just rotated with the neck. And then we're going to go down into a full squat. We're going to do breaths there. And from there, we're going to come up booty first and just hang for a bit and slowly come up vertebrae by vertebrae. So are you ready to start? So again, interlock our fingers, bring them up to the back of our neck, and pull up on our skin. I usually have to readjust because I have to get my hair out of the way. And you want to pull up on the skin, and just remember, you don't want to pull your head forward. So just pull up on that skin, pull that fascia, and we're going to look up to the sky, elbows to the sky, and we're going to take a deep breath in through our mouth, out through our mouth. 1, 2, 3, through the nose. 2, 3. Be sure to pull that spinal pelvic lock up. Bring our chin to our chest. Tuck our elbows. We're going to take a deep breath in through our mouth and look to the right and exhale down. So deep breath in, right, exhale down. Deep breath in, left, exhale down. And we're just rotating at the neck. Deep breath in, right, exhale down. Inhale, left, exhale down. Right, exhale down. Inhale, left, exhale down. Now you're going to come down into a skier squat, knees slightly bent, butt back towards the wall, and you're going to look up at the screen if you can, and we're going to take a deep breath in, and we're going to rotate from the hips up to the right. So deep breath, to the right, exhale down. Deep breath in, to the left, exhale down. Deep breath in, right, exhale down. Deep breath in, left, exhale down. Deep breath in, right, exhale down. Deep breath in, left, exhale down. Now we're going to go down into a deep squat, as deep as you can. And again, good, better, best. If you can't go into a deep squat, just stand at a height that you're comfortable. You can just squat a little bit, or you can just go back to standing. So we're going to do 3 breaths in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as soon as we get that in, we're going to take our booty and bring that up. So deep breath in and come up, booty first. Exhale down. We're just going to hang here for 3 breaths, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. Slowly come up, vertebrae by vertebrae. That is the last to come up. And we're going to look up to the ceiling and take another deep breath. Drop our arms and let's go for a walk. So how's everybody feeling after that 15-minute reset? So I can tell you, I'm starting to feel a little off, almost a little high, as you can see in my walking. So again, if we need to, we can shake that off. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into swinger. So this works really nice for anybody who plays sports that have a rotational swing. So golf, baseball, there's even when you're sitting, sometimes you do sit with a rotation. So we're going to stand feet shoulder width apart. I'll line up my toes. And we're going to lean forward, bend our knees slightly, lean forward, dangle your hands in front till your fingertips touch the top of your knees. You're going to take your right hand, put it up on top of your left shoulder. Take our left hand, grab the back of your right elbow, and you're going to pull all the way across. So we're going to pull across, head's going to go to the right, and we're going to come down into a squat. And we're going to do 6 breaths in through the mouth, out through the mouth. So let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly unwind. And shake that off. Go for a little walk. All right. And then we've got to do the other side. So again, feet shoulder width apart. And slowly lean forward, butt back towards the wall. Knees bent till your fingertips reach the top of your knees. Take your left hand, go up on top of our right shoulder. Right hand's going to grab the back of the trap, and we're going to pull across. So as we pull across, we're rotating the torso. Head's going to go to the left, body's going to go down into a squat. Head to the left, body to the right. 6 deep breaths in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly unwind. Stand back up. Shake that off. And that also had a shift in my head, not just through the torso. So then we have got pullover. So we're going to take our right hand, and we're going to go up on the back side of our shoulder, right into the meaty part, right on top of the scapula. Except I like to go underneath my shirt so that I can get the skin. So pull up on the skin. Left hand's going to come across, reach all the way across under the chest. We're going to pull that one forward. Left shoulder is going to come up and continue to pull forward on the ribs and bring that left shoulder up some more. We're going to take a deep breath in, and we're going to cross over, bend at the knees, and bring that left shoulder as close as you can to the left knee. Head to the left, And body is to the right. And we're going to do 6 breaths. 3 in through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 2, 3. Slowly unwind. Take that off, walk that off. All right. And we've got to do the other side. So we're going to take our left hand, again, out to the outer side of our shoulder, kind of right over the shoulder blade. I like to go under the shirt so that I can get skin. And we're going to pull that shoulder up. Right hand's going to come across to the left side. And we're going to pull forward. So we kind of have that line being pulled across our back. So we're going to pull that right shoulder up some more. And head to the right. Take a deep breath. And we're going to pull that right shoulder over to our left knee. Bend the knees as we go. Head to the right, body to the left. In through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. Slowly unwind. Shake that off. All right. And let's go for a walk. So the next thing we're going to do, we've got one more in here, and we are going to do pretzel squat. So we're going to stand with our feet shoulder width apart. We're going to take our right foot, tee it up to the left. And we're going to take that right foot, we're going to step out 3 feet and take our left hand, bring it around the front like we're going to shake somebody's hand out that's kind of half behind us. And so we're just going to rotate the body with. We're going to take our right hand, slap it on our right booty, and we're going to slowly lean over the front left shoulder, and we're going to look like there's something on the floor that we're looking to see. And as you do this, you want to feel your booty get pressed back into your right hand. And once you do that, take your left hand, put it up on your shoulder, take your right hand, put that up on your back, palm facing outward, and head to your left. And we're going to go down into a squat with both knees. And we're going to do 6 breaths in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Switch hands, head to the right, and 6 more breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly unwind, and back up. Shake that off, walk that off a little bit. And you probably got a little bit of jello in the legs right now after that. And it's probably getting a little bit warm in here. So we got to do the other side just like usual. So we're going to stand feet shoulder width apart. Left foot, tee it up to your right. Step out about 3 feet, whatever is comfortable. Take your right hand, swing that around like you're going to shake somebody's hand on this side. Left hand on your left booty. And we're going to look over the front like we drop something on the floor. And as soon as you feel that left hand into your left booty, right hand goes on top of left shoulder, the left hand goes up on the back, palm facing out. And we're going to go down into a squat with both knees and 6 breaths. Head to the right, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Swap hands, head to the left, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, drop more if you can. 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly unwind and shake that off. All right. There's your 15-minute reset and 3 additional maneuvers. And you should be feeling looser. We should have moved some pressure by now. And we have actually been able to pretty much work head to toe. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take it down a little bit and we're going to do the organ reset. So each one of our organs has an emotion that's connected to it. So we'll do affirmations for most of them. So let's get started and see what you think of that. So to start, we are going to rub our hands. We want to create some energy. And then we're going to rub our knuckles together. We're going to rub our little knuckles together. And then we're going to rub our fingertips together. And then we're going to clap. And that activates the heart. And if you want, you can put your hands together and see if you can feel energy bouncing back and forth between the palms of your hand. So it's that energy that we're going to use to charge your organs. So first thing we're going to do is start with the ileocecal valve. We're going to go find our belly button, go 2 inches over to the right and 2 inches down. We're going to push in and we're going to turn up. You might feel a little ball underneath there. If it's tender and you don't want to push in and rotate, you can just let it sit there. But I'm going to push in, rotate thumbs up, left hand up on the left trap. And we are going to do 6 breaths, 3 in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, in through the nose, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. Repeat after me. I am letting go of grief. I am replacing grief with joy. And we're going to take that right hand and we're going to come straight up to right below the ribs. And we're going to push in and turn up again, thumbs up again. And this is our liver and gallbladder. So let's go in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. I no longer wish to hold anger and resentment in my body. And we're going to come straight across from there, right under the ribs on the left side. We're going to push in and pull across. And this is our stomach. And we're going to breathe in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. I am ready to achieve all that I desire. And from here, we're going to go straight down. So like we started, 2 inches over from the belly button, 2 inches down. This time on the left, we're going to push in. We're going to pull up and across. This is our valve of Houston, where the large intestine goes into the colon. We're going to breathe in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. I no longer need to overthink to feel safe. And we can relax for a bit, shake that off before we move on to the bladder. If you feel you need to recharge a little bit. All right. So we're going to go to the bladder. So right above the pubic bone, so probably 2 inches below the belly button. We're going to push in and pull up. We're going to lean forward, push our hips forward, left hand up on top of the shoulder. And this one, if we want, we can sway the hips back and forth. So we're going to breathe in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, through the nose. 2, 3. Thank you, fear, for protecting me. I'm replacing fear with confidence. And let that go. And we're going to bring left hand over to the other side of the neck. Right hand is going to go up right about the bra line. And we're going to push in and we're going to push down. And this is for our kidneys. And we are going to lean to the left, head to the right. And we're going to take 3 sharp breaths in. Exhale. In through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. Through the nose. 2, 3. Slowly stand up, and we're going to do the other kidney. So take our left hand right about the bra line, squeeze in, push down. Right hand is going to reach across, and we are going to lean to the right, head to the left. 3 sharp breaths to activate the kidneys. 1, exhale. In through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. Through the nose. 2, 3. We're going to stand up. We're going to take that left hand. We're going to drop right below the ribs. We're going to take our thumb and we're going to push in right on the edge of the spine. That's our spleen. And we're going to step forward like a half a step with your right foot. We're going to lean to the right, and you'll feel that push into your left thumb. And we're going to do 6 breaths, 3 in through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. In through the nose. 1, 2, 3. I'm ready to replace worry with trust. And we're going to stand up. We're going to take our right hand, and that's going to go on the front of our neck. And we're going to do our thyroid. So we're going to just pull gently up, squeeze gently, pull gently up. Left hand is going to go on the back side of the neck. And so pull up, let that left hand on the back just rest. And we're 6 breaths, 3 in through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. Through the nose. 2, 3. I'm ready to speak my truth, even when it's difficult for others to hear. Right hand's going to go on the heart. left hand on top of the head. If you haven't already, close your eyes. Close your eyes for this one. Breathe gently for a bit. See if you can feel your heartbeat with your right hand. And see if you feel your brain beat with your left. Imagine a circle coming from your brain down your back to your heart and back up the front to your brain. And we want to join the heart and the brain together. We're going to breathe 6 times, 3 in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, through the nose. 2, 3. Thank you, brain, for the stories you have told me to make my way through this life. Thank you, heart, for feeling any pain that I may have experienced and continuing to move me forward in this world. Heart, you're in charge now. I forgive myself. I love myself. 3 breaths in through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. So you drop your arms. Things should have quieted quite a bit by now after that. So next thing we're going to do, we are going to look at some specific conditions, and I'm going to show you a couple of fascial maneuvers that you can use to help each one of those conditions. So the first thing we're going to talk about is headaches. So we all get those. So we're going to start with antler twist. So we're going to take our right hand and we're going to bring the palm up on our temple with our fingers facing backwards. Take our left hand and the palm is going to go up on the temple with our fingers facing forward. And we're going to squeeze the head and we're going to rotate the hands so both fingers come up to the top of the head. And if you want, if they're long enough, you can interlock them. And we're going to breathe, and we're also going to move with this. So we can slowly move from side to side and go down into a squat. So let's begin our breaths in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now we're going to do one version of the ear pull. So we are going to take our hands and we're going to pull up on the ear and we're going to pull straight up. So we're going to take both ears, wrap your fingers around the earlobes and pull straight up. And I'm actually at a point where I don't feel a whole lot pulling up anymore. So I actually pull up and back a little bit so that I get a full feel. So we're going to do our 6 breaths again. And again, we're just going to slowly sway back and forth, up and down. We can go into a squat if you like. So let's do our breaths in through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, through the nose. 2, 3. All righty. And the next thing we're going to talk about is hip pain. So pretzel squat that we just did actually works wonders for that. That's what I tend to do. The other thing, you can work on squatting, and if you have difficulty squatting yet, you can go like to the front of a chair and just slowly start to work on that squat, and eventually you can get rid of the chair. But what we're going to do is a hip release, and I can only do it part way. So, but I will do it. I will explain the best I can. Got to make sure it can be seen. So we're going to lay down on our backs. There we go. And I have actually discovered that if I go up to another chair, it works best for me. So feet flat on the floor, you're going to take your right leg, cross it over the left, and you're going to grab that left leg or right leg. And ideally, you would want to bring the left leg up and you would want to grab both legs. But I can't make that, so I will do one at a time. So I will do that. And the chair actually helps me get that up a little bit where I've actually gone, where I've got my booty up against the sofa and I can push that one way back. So you're going to lift your head, hip is going to go, you're going to rotate the hip to the left, head to the right, and we're going to do 6 breaths. In through the mouth, 1, 2, 3, through the nose, 2, 3. Slowly unwind and bring your feet back. And then we're going to do left leg over right. And this one's even tighter, so we'll get there. And then I usually bring the right up to the sofa. Lift your head up, bring your leg over to your right, head to your left, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, through the nose, 2, 3. Slowly unwind. And again, if you can get both feet up, it really works and well, and this one works fabulous as a partner maneuver. So you can get somebody at your butt end and actually push both hips back up for you. So next thing we're going to do is jaw pain. Make sure my mic is still working. So we're going to do getting cheeky. So it's going to be similar to antler twist. It's just we're going to do it in the cheeks. So we're going to find that meaty part of the cheek, and we're going to push in, right fingers facing backwards, left fingers facing forward, and we're going to, you can open, kind of fall into that spot, and we're going to push in. Now we're going to rotate fingertips up, and I always kind of chuckle because it reminds me of the old bus driver opened the door. And we're going to do like we've done, 6 breaths, and we're just going to move around, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, through the nose, 2, 3. And come back up. And then we're going to do that ear pull that I learned 3 years ago. So we're going to take our thumbs, stick it in our ear, just like that, both sides. Then we're going to take our fingers, we're going to grab the top of the ear, and we're going to roll the top down. And then we are going to open and close our mouth 3 times looking forward. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to look up, open and close as wide as you can. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to look down, tuck our chin, and open and close as wide as you can. 1, 2, 3. And from here, you're going to look up and to the right. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to look back down, and then we're going to look up and to the left. Open and close as wide as you can. 1, 2, 3. And let that go. Alrighty. So the next thing we're going to talk about is if you have some digestive issues. So digestion usually comes from the bottom right side, comes up and around, and eliminates on the left. So sometimes when we're having digestive issues, we just need to give that process a little bit of a break. And so we're going to take our fingers, we're going to go into the belly button, and we're going to push in. And then we're going to rotate our thumb up. So we're going to rotate that belly button. Then we're going to go to the back side, and we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to kind of grab in on our back. We're going to push in and rotate the opposite direction. So we're just rotating the fascia. And then we're going to do our 6 breaths. In through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, and you can move around again. 3, in through the nose, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. And a couple other things, we've already done them, so we won't do them again, but the ileocecal valve is another spot that we just did with the organ reset, and then the stomach release with the organ reset. Those will also work with digestive issues. So, and then we're going to look at shoulder pain. So, we are going to do two different maneuvers for that. So we're going to do arm pull. So we are going to take and we're going to squeeze in on the upper arm. We're going to rotate over. We're going to rotate out. And we're going to take the arm and we're going to rotate in. And we're going to pull down with the left hand, and we're going to pull up on the right. And we're going to kind of go down like an elephant trunk and pull that down, continue to pull up. And we're just going to go around and stretch and bring that up into different areas. As we breathe in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, through the nose. 2, 3. Shake that off. And we'll do the other side. So again, I like to go on skin because it's easier for me to do that. So we're going to take our right hand, go in, we're going to rotate out. We take our left arm, and we're going to rotate in. We're going to go down, kind of like an elephant trunk, pull down with your right hand, pull up with your left shoulder, and just start to move slowly around. Find areas that are a little more restrictive and hold. As we breathe in through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, through the nose. 2, 3. Shake that off. And then we're going to do a shoulder release. So we are going to take our right hand, put it up on our left trap or on our right trap. We're going to take left hand. We're going to go out to the elbow, and we're going to rotate and torque on the elbow and figure out which side is more restrictive. So I usually turn to the outside, and we're going to hold that turn, that torque. And we're going to bring our arms up over our head and continue to hold that torque. We're going to lean to the left, head to the right, and we're going to do 6 breaths. In through the mouth, out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, through the nose. 2, 3. And move around just a little bit and find areas that are a little tighter and slowly unwind. And we can walk that off. Alrighty. And we've got to do the other side, as Richard Simmons would say, or we're going to walk funny all day. So we're going to take our left hand, bring it up to our left trap, take our right hand. We're going to go out to the elbow. And again, we're going to check which direction feels a little tighter. And you're going to torque on the elbow. Hand stays up on top of the shoulder. And we're going to bring our head through our arms. Maintain that torque on that left elbow. Lean to the right, head to the left, and in through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, through the nose. 2, 3. Move that shoulder around a little bit. If you want, you can increase that stretch. Bring that left foot back and lean that way as well. Just as a little extra tidbit. All right, let's walk that off. And that's kind of all we have for maneuvers for today. We have a couple more things to talk about. So I've kind of mentioned it already that fascia can get dehydrated. And for years, and you hear it so many times, people talk about, well, I drink plenty of water. Well, your tissue is still dehydrated. And why is that? So for years as a massage therapist, the tissue that I feel that's dehydrated, I've always kind of described it as a dried up old sponge. And you can pour water over a dried up old sponge, but what's it going to do? It's going to run off. So if our tissue is dehydrated and we keep pouring water in, is it going to absorb or is it just going to run through and we're just going to pee it out? So the question is, from a massage therapist standpoint, I always used to think that manipulating the tissue would actually be like that dried up old sponge. If you pour the water over it or if you drop it in water and you squeeze it, it'll absorb the water. So with fascial maneuvers, the one thing that I have learned is that it's not just about pouring more water in, and it's not just about squeezing the tissue. So our bodies are made up of silica, and that has become more and more depleted in us as a society because of the chemicals and additives and even like the Wi-Fi and that kind of stuff in today's world. So silica has become depleted, and then our minerals have become depleted. We used to have water that would be filtered down through the earth, and we pulled it up through a well, and it had minerals that it had received through the earth. Now we have processed water. So it's been chemically treated, and most of the minerals have been removed. So what does work, and what I've learned through the Human Garage, is that we use food grade diatomaceous earth, which replaces our silica, and then we use minerals such as Irish sea moss, and those two in conjunction will actually help to rehydrate the body. Because a lot of us pour enough in, but does our body really hold onto it and hydrate the body as it should? So without the minerals, without the silica, it's going to be that dried up old sponge. It's going to pass right through, and we're just going to pee it out. So food grade diatomaceous earth, you can get, in a powder. You can add it to your water. You can add it to your food. You can add it to your smoothies. Irish sea moss, you can get it in multiple forms. You can get it in capsules and gel, and you can reconstitute it yourself. or you can get freeze dried. But those are some things that you might want to look into when it comes to hydrating and rehydrating the body. So the next thing I want to talk about is the 3 zones in the body. I kind of alluded to it while we're going through the maneuvers, in that we really did work head to toe. When it comes to fascia, we want to make sure that we're working each one of those zones because one affects the other. So the first zone is our head and our neck. And that is responsible for our perception, our awareness, and our nervous system regulation. And then we come down into the torso and the core, and that includes our arms. And that involves our movement, our breath, and our stability. So think of how many people are doing core exercises to stabilize their core, to stabilize their whole body. There's a reason that that's in here, but we can't forget about the other 2. And then the third zone is our hips and our legs, and that they are important for our balance and our movement and our connection to the ground, so our groundedness. Within each one of these zones, they each are divided into another 3. So our ankles and our wrists and our chin are linked. And then we've got the knees, the elbows, and through the midway. And then we've got the thighs and the hips and the upper arm and the shoulder and the top of the head. So typically, if you're going to have an issue in one of those areas of the body, you're probably going to have an issue in the other 2. So it's changed things in my massage in that so many people come in, oh, I just want my upper body, my legs are fine. Well, when we move pressure in the body, one area of the body, it affects the other areas as well. So all of those zones differ in size, but it doesn't matter what we do to one, we ultimately affect the other because we're constantly moving that pressure around in the body. So with that, I kind of talked about it when we were doing the rotation, counter rotation. So that's one of the fundamentals of fascial maneuvers is counter rotation. So it's really the premise of fascial maneuvers. So fascia is rotational. Our muscle fibers are vertical. Most of the fibers in our body are vertical. So we have, when we walk, we naturally counter rotate. So as we step forward, the other hand comes back and our head rotates with that as well. So you can see where we've got this rotational movement within the body. So we utilize the fascial maneuvers to restore this motion. So I've even done the experiment where, if you don't allow one hand to move and you walk, it starts to throw things off. And so how many women especially carry around that great big heavy bag? And so it starts to throw off those zones in the body, and you start to more easily see the impact on that. So as we release rotationally, the muscles below in the organs, they start to relax. So it's really about releasing the fascia around everything, and then everything else can start to relax naturally with that. So when you're looking at counter rotation and what we just did, we did totally twisted where we rotated, and we did the arm pull where we rotated out, rotated back. That's counter rotation. And then we did the pretzel squat where we rotated the full body as well. So, and I can tell since I've been doing this now today, I feel a whole lot different from when I came in today to where I am now. So that rotation really does help, and it does release the things below. So then the other thing that goes along with that, so we've got the 3 zones, we've got counter rotation, and then we got to talk about our body being a pressurized system. So we we've all heard about atmospheric pressure, and atmospheric pressure barometer changes when storms come. But it's that pressure from the exterior that comes onto our body. Well, if we don't have that same pressure going out, do we just implode? So it's said that we have 14 pounds of pressure coming to us externally um, from the atmosphere, and per square inch, 14 pounds of pressure per square inch. So that makes about 2,000 pounds of pressure that we have pressurizing us from the outside. So we have to balance that out with pressure from the inside, and that pressure comes from the fascia. So if you think about a balloon, if we don't have air on the inside, the balloon is flat, doesn't do anything. So we blow it up and the balloon expands, and now we have pressure on the inside pushing the walls out. We have pressure on the outside keeping it in. And that's a little bit like how our bodies are and how they're designed. So when so we not only have that external internal pressure, but when we go back to the zones, we might have pressure in an area of the body that starts to affect and move things from within. So think about when you're bloated, stomach comes out. Where is that change of pressure going to affect you in the body? Sometimes you might get a headache with it too. So again, you got zone 1, zone 2. So um, so those are all things to kind of be aware of. So with fascial maneuvers, we actually see pain as being simply pressure, and we want to move that pressure within the body and try to get it balanced out to where it needs to be again, and therefore releasing that pain, that pressure, and allows more freedom of movement. So ultimately, we don't even think about pressure in the body from day to day. We just exist, we do our thing. But those are key components when it comes to relieving that pain in the body. Fascial maneuvers has been an entirely different way of looking at the body. Gary Linehan, the founder, really sees it as differently than most scientists, most medical doctors. But so it's been a very interesting learning curve with all of this, and I'm so excited to move forward and see where this takes me. There's still so much more for me to learn. I would love to continue to share with you. I want to thank you for being a part of this today, and I hope that you have a fabulous rest of the day. And if you have any questions, let me know. You can always look up the Human Garage TV on YouTube if you're interested in seeing some more videos before I get a chance to get back to you. So again, thank you so much. Have a fabulous day.